Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Tando. For those of you who don't know, if you're new here, thank you for joining us. And for those that are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And today we're going to be talking about how to take and edit lifestyle pictures, or fillers, or flatlays, whatever you want to call them, but basically pictures where you're not the person in the picture. So I am going to make reference to my how to edit video and how to take video, so I hope that you have watched those videos already. I'd also like to mention that from here onwards, whenever this video goes live, I am going to start doing regular Instagram lives, so please do follow me on my Instagram. I don't think it's important what my Instagram looks like because you're just coming for the live, but if you're interested, this is what it looks like. And the Instagram lives will be on Thursdays at 7, and essentially we'll be talking all things digital marketing, digital content creation. Just if it's digital, we're talking about it. So if that is something you would be interested in, please do give me a follow, and let's go on and start with this video. So in terms of taking lifestyle pictures, that's what I'm going to call it. Actually, I'm going to call it lifestyle pictures, so that I'll call them fillers. Thing that I think you just really need to note about taking fillers is that detail. I feel like I always talk about detail, but detail is so important. With fillers, literally what's in front of you is the only thing to look at, so you better make sure that everything is in place. So yeah, detail, essential, right? So there's 3 things that you really need to note about taking filler pictures. 1, it's the framing. Spoke about this in my how to take pictures video, and also spoke about it in my how to edit your pictures video. So framing is essential. Angles are very important as well. You definitely need to make sure that you're taking your filler pictures at the correct angle. Well, the angle that's most suitable for the picture that you're trying to take. And thirdly, I don't remember what the third point is. Sorry. Background. Background is very, very important. A simple background, or one that complements the picture, is always perfect. So I'm going to go into all of these about how to take your filler pictures, and towards the end I'll actually do a demo of editing, so that you can fine-tune the picture that you've taken, but also know what to note when editing. So this is almost like a 2-in-1 video. So with framing, everything that I mentioned in the previous videos is just as important. So with framing a filler picture, what I've started to notice is that things work better in 3s or in an S shape. So I'm gonna pop up examples here. A picture like this, for example, you have your plate of food, you have your wine glass, and then you have your salt and pepper. Essentially, those are 3 focal items that you look at, and then there's the background. So it helps when the frame and the things in the frame aren't cluttered and there are not too many things, because your eye doesn't really know where to look, and there isn't a subject like a human being. So once you put too many things in that frame, it loses, you know, what captivates you about the picture. Cool? Right. Now I'm going to move on to angles. So there are 3 angles at which you can actually take your filler pictures. Maybe there's more. You don't have to go by what I say, but the ones I know of is taking a picture dead on, like smack bang, like here I am or here it is, because it is things, not you. Yes, is flat down, as in overhead, flat lay. That's the word. And you can also take things at a 45-degree angle. A 45-degree, 90, 45. Cool. 45-degree angle. So those are the 3 angles that you can take your filler pictures in. And let's go into a picture that you take dead on. With the picture that you take dead on or straight ahead, or parallel to your eye, it's very important that the things in the frame are straight. Maybe this is just my preference, but I'll give you examples of pictures that I don't like because they're not exactly dead on, but they obscure the actual image. So the kind of pictures, filler pictures that you normally take dead on would be a building, it would be the entrance to a restaurant, or even something when you're looking out into the horizon. So it could be a sunset, it could be you overlooking the beach. Those kind of pictures look really nice when you take them dead on. But now the thing about taking them dead on is you cannot take a picture dead on and then the sea is skew like this. It must be flat like this. So try and not obscure how the actual object is supposed to look. Next is the 45-degree angle, and usually you use this kind of angle when the picture is nice dead on probably, but it just looks a lot better and adds a little bit more dimension to it when you just tilt your phone slightly. You know, like how when you take a selfie and you tilt your head a little bit and you feel like you look cuter? It's the same thing that happens with a filler picture. So I'm used to taking the 45-degree angle for pictures like food, where I don't want to take a flat lay. So I'll just tilt my phone slightly, and it just makes the objects in the picture have dimension, and it just adds more depth to it, you know. They look more 3D, and yeah, so it makes it interesting because it adds layers to what you're seeing, which makes the picture more interesting. So when you're trying to make a picture look more interesting than it actually is, just try tilting your phone 45 degrees forward and you'll see. Cool. Another type of angle that you can use to take your filler pictures is top down, phecelezi flat lay. So with flat lays, you literally take the picture overhead, like literally you will stand, or you can be sitting, and you take your phone and literally go like this. So you would use your phone or whatever you're taking a picture with and literally take the picture from overhead all the way up, and we call these flat lays generally. So with flat lays, another thing that's also very important is the background that you're using. Flat lays are also really nice when you take note of the number of things in the picture. Again, don't cluster the frame. Sometimes it works, but you need to kind of know the rules before you break them. So try to limit the number of objects in the picture. Try to have a simple background. Try to have a simple background that doesn't take away from the image but rather complements it. and draws attention to the things that you've put in the picture. It's personally worked for me to have things in threes in flat lays, and other than having things in threes and flat lays, it's also really helped me to almost form an S shape with the things that are in the picture. But I am not an expert in terms of flat lay photography, but I do recommend an account. I think it's khalipha ntloko underscore or khalipha underscore ntloko. Okay, I'll just put it right here for you guys to see. But she has story highlights on flat lays. I think it's called Flat Lay 101, and literally her whole feed has so many flat lays. Essentially, she's like a flat lay queen. She's really great at flat lays, and she actually does tutorials on how to achieve really good flat lays. And cnehshuga is also really good with her flat lays. Hers are very color coordinated and just aesthetically pleasing, so do check out those two accounts. I'll put them in the description box and check them out, guys. You will flourish. Cool. So those are all the angles in which you can take filler pictures, and trust me, you will find the angles that work for you, and different angles work for different kind of vibes and things. So you'll decide which angle works best for you for what you're trying to present. And then something else that's very important is the background. I already mentioned it, but I think I just need to reiterate how important the background is. Another thing about filler pictures is that it takes a lot for someone to be interested in the picture and for it to capture their eye. So playing around with the objects in the picture and also the background and making sure that they either complement each other or are drastically different can be that one thing that draws people in. We all know that fillers don't have that much engagement on Instagram, but you can give it that wow factor. I've found that having texture in your backgrounds also really just draws the eye in, because it's different from your normal background that you would normally have. So like having textures like something woolen, or you know those rugs that have that fur kind of skin too. I've noticed that those work really well. So just play around with your backgrounds. You can literally use anything. You can use your tiles, you can use the floor, you can use bed sheets for your backgrounds, literally anything. Just be creative with it and just shop around for inspiration on like other platforms. I know there's WeHearted, there's Pinterest, where you can find so many ideas that you can use. So yeah, filler pictures really don't have to be as boring as people make them out to be. So now let's go on into editing your filler pictures. And I'm just literally gonna do a demo for you guys, an example of like 2 or 3 pictures, and the video will be done. So now I'm just gonna show you quickly how best to edit your filler pictures. I'm actually editing as I film, so cool. We're gonna start with this picture here, and this picture I took it dead on. So you sort of have to find out what you want to draw attention to in the picture, but you can already see here the picture's mainly red, so I would like to bring out the reds more. So I'm just gonna make this picture a bit more red. I'll just make these chairs more red and just like blow that out. There's a lot of blue in the picture, but I actually just want to drop the temperature just a little bit, then go back to the blues and just drop it down a little bit to make it more crisp and white. I'm sure you saw that the chairs became a little bit whiter. The white became more vivid. And then I'm going to take the light blue and up it a little bit so that the sky has a little bit of color. Let me change the hue a bit. And the luminance up or down. Okay, that seems fine by me. And then there are tinges of orange in the picture if you notice. So I'm literally just going to up the orange a little bit just to get that sky to be a little bit warmer, and also those lamps that are there. So detail is everything. So I'm just gonna up that, maybe look for different hues. I think I prefer this one. So then I'm gonna up that, drop the luminance a bit, and that's enough with color. Let me see what I can change within the lighting to just make it that much better, you know. Just a few touches here and there, no big deal. And this is the finished picture. So there's your before, there's your after. You kind of need to tweak your filler pictures manually, more so than like other pictures that you take, purely because I don't think you'd have a set preset for fillers, sorry. You wouldn't have a set preset for fillers because the pictures you take of fillers vary quite a bit. Unless you have the same kind, then you can use a preset, but I just wouldn't recommend one. Cool, so that one's done. Let's move on to another picture. So this picture is almost completely blue. This one was taken at a 45-degree angle. If I'd taken it dead on, you wouldn't have seen the coffee in the cup, the tea in the cup. So the background too is textured. It's literally bed sheets, but I ruffled them around so that there's that extra texture. And simple picture, there's only 2 objects in the picture here. So what I'm going to do here is just work with light and make the whites more apparent, the blacks lower. I think that's all really. And then let me go to color. The picture's already cold, but I want to make it even colder a bit. And then I want to go to color and remove all of the blue. So now the picture's like immediately a lot whiter. It is white now in actual fact, or gray. And then the coffee, the tea is about orange, so I'm just gonna up the orange a little bit so that you can also see the brand. And then I will go to light again and try and play around with it so that it's white and not gray. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna up the blacks a little bit and the shadows, play around with that as well, and the highlights. Cool. I'm happy with this picture. And then there's the before and here's the after. Pretty happy with that. Done. Move on to the next picture, and this one is a flat lay. So here, clean background with some negative space. There's about 3 items, and then I mean you can include that wrapping paper there as well. Just a tip, when you get like gifts from brands or just packages that were delivered to you, keep the wrapping paper and use it for your flat lays. If it's crinkled, press it, just iron it, put a cloth on top of it and iron it, it will be straight. Yeah, so here basically a full-on flat lay. And here I think what's most important is drawing out the color. So what I'm going to do is go to color first, drop the temperature so I can make it a bit more blue, and then I'm going to remove all of the blue just to make it a little bit brighter and remove all those yellow tinges. Then I'm going to go to light and increase the white so the plate really is white and what's white is really white. And then I'll start working on the other colors. Okay, I think I'll up the exposure as well. Yeah, up the exposure a little bit, and then go to color and just yellow in the yolk. I want to increase that to make it a little bit brighter. Maybe the luminance, drop it a little bit so it's orangish yellow. The red from the tomato, just gonna increase that, and then increase orange a little bit for the corners of the bread. And then there's those, what are those? Those are plums. I think I already like the color of them, but I think I'm gonna play around with the hue just to bring it out a little bit more. But I think that's a fairly good picture. Let me see the contrast. I think there. And I'm just showing you like around, but I'm pretty happy with this picture. And here's the before, pretty dull, and here's the after. Cool. So that's essentially how I would edit my pictures. And you can also get really creative with your flatlays as well, as in like you can actually put images of yourself, have like an element, a human element in your flatlays, not your flatlays, your fillers. But it does normally work for flatlays, probably why I'm saying that. But yes, that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really do want to stress that you follow khalipha _ntloko. She does great tutorials on how to take flatlays, and I'm pretty sure some of the things I've mentioned are encompassed in her tutorials. So please really do give her a follow, and also just play around with apps like Pinterest and WeHearted for, you know, that inspiration. And don't forget to credit people for inspiring you guys. Cool? Right. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, guys. We're on the road to monetization now, so please, if you have the time, watch all my videos, all of them, like the whole thing. And you can take breaks in between, but just like finish the videos, please. If you have nothing else to do after watching me right now, then please do watch one of my other videos or my playlists. And thank you so much for watching. See you guys again next time. Bye bye.